Ladies and gents. Huh? How long did it last? It lasted a second. Yeah, Iran launched more drones. So US military only is this YouTube title. But the description says Iran launched one-way attack drones at commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Because screw those commercial ships. Economy, civilians, these are just technical terms. No one cares. I mean, Trump said like, oh, Strait of Hormuz is open, have at it. And Iran's like, oh, wait a minute, I have an idea. See, this is what I was saying. I'll see it when I believe. I'll believe it when I see it. I always mess that up. I don't know. I believe it when I see it, right? Trump always like oversells a lot of time. Like, oh, this has happened. But I don't know. It's just because that's his political mind. If you oversell, if you will it enough, it becomes a thing. That's how Trump's career has been, right? I mean, look at Trump's career. Do you really, would you have thought 30 years ago that Trump's going to be president? No, he willed it into existence. He willed it into existence. Yeah. So, I mean, he's the guy like, he's hopeful. I don't know. That's the most positive way I can say it. I knew that this is going to happen. So yeah, Iran, last time when Trump said, oh, we are under ceasefire, Iran's like, oh, there is no ceasefire and still attacked. Now, oh, by the way, we have like 2 months long agreement and they're attacking Strait of Hormuz again. Attack US Navy. You know, attack US Navy if you have the balls. Attacking civilians, you're going to flex. Yeah, look at Iran. We are attacking civilian ships. I don't know, man. This is any other military. Think about any other military of the world. Germany, any of the Europe, Japan, India, China. Oh, we attack not our opponent, but civilians. Because we can't attack our opponents. What kind of a war is this? Let's just watch one. Let's just watch this one. Why am I fumbling?
17th, 2026, welcome to the video. Iran is launching more drones at commercial ships just last night. But here's the number I want you to think of, 30 seconds. That's how long a Shahed 136 drone has.
30 seconds. That's how long this thing lasted. That's what it means.
An A-10 Warthog acquires it at 2 miles out. The IRGC launched a wave at commercial ships.
What the fuck? Look at it. It's just pitch black. Black figure in the sky. This is so A-10, right? Yeah, there you go. Where is A-10? There's something black in the sky. What is that? That's A-10.
Warthog acquires it at 2 miles out. The IRGC launched a wave at commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz, not despite a peace deal being finalized, but because of it, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second. But Tehran wanted the world to see them launching those drones. At this point, those are going to stand out like a you-know-what in sweatpants in the Strait of Hormuz. Everybody is going to be able to see it, especially with all the systems that CENTCOM has in that region still. Even though the blockade has the blockade, you know what I mean.
Wait a minute, don't Iran, I mean, Iran probably doesn't have a monsoon season. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a desert, mountainous area. India has monsoon season. It's hitting now, literally. Doesn't Iran also get hit by monsoon? No, it doesn't. Middle East wouldn't have a lot of desert if it did. But if it did, Iran wouldn't be able to use Shahed drones because clouds and rain.
Even though that's been lifted, CENTCOM still has many assets in the area, which can be that persistent trust but verify. Yeah, General Salami, we trust that you're going to sign the actual peace deal. We're just going to verify it, okay? We're going to verify that you're not just throwing your own charcuterie party, and in this case, instead of capers and lettuce and tomatoes, you're throwing Shahed drones at commercial ships. We see what you're doing. But also simultaneously, CENTCOM and the US military wanted the world to see what happens next when Iran launches those drones. We're talking anti-UAS, unmanned aerial system capabilities, some new advanced technology that we're going to talk about in this video, but along with the OG, basically the best drone killing aircraft ever created, the A-10 Warthog. We know that there's no comparison to the A-10. Every time someone says, well, the F-35 replaces the A-10.
What is this? Sometimes Max shows, I guess, maybe upcoming tech. What I want to know is this really under military right now? Like, are military using this? Or is this just like some showcase thing that some company showed that US military could buy? Do US military have this now, these Epirus things? Small launchers they're launching that would attack Drones.
10. No. F-16 replaces the A-10. No. The A-10 is a unique platform to take down slow-flying drones, tanks, and use that massive 30mm cannon to do what Uncle Sam still needs to do to Iran's drones in the Strait of Hormuz right now. And then Iran's parliament speaker, Ghalibaf, he was already at his microphone. Can someone take this guy's microphone away? Just give him a pen. Just let him sign things. We don't need him having a microphone. But despite that, he does have a microphone, and he said, Iran took a major step toward final victory. We are standing, and in the end, our Iran will be victorious. He's like, in the end, Iran will still try to do some nefarious things around the globe, like you just saw us do last night, launching our Shahed drones at innocent commercial ships. And then Hassan Khamenei, the grandson of the Islamic Republic founder who was taken out during Operation Epic Fury, called the war against America and Israel the lesser jihad and declared a greater jihad was now beginning. The IRGC state media ran celebration footage of the drone launches as proof the armed forces had maintained control over the strait. So essentially, they're just trying to gaslight their people, make their people think they are.
We have control. That's called chaos. You have chaos over Strait of Hormuz, not control. You're just making sure somebody else doesn't have freedom. That doesn't mean control. That means chaos. You don't have control over anything. You can't do anything in the Strait of Hormuz. But you're making sure nobody else can do anything either. That's called chaos. You're making sure everybody's like prices rises up. Everybody get pissed off. Even the neutral countries that supposedly your 5,000-year-old friends, which you killed apparently in recent times. So, like the news somehow goes under the radar. I'm pretty sure like certain Indian cargoes were hit and some Indian people died in that as well. And I heard locally like there is a slight anger towards it, which is not good because that usually means the government's not going to forget this. So there's a permanent damage with reputation with one of the top economies that was supposedly your friend. They're not going to be friend going forward. So what is doing this going to get you? USA is not affected. USA doesn't care about Strait of Hormuz. No other country is going to call USA. Like my economy is getting a hit. How about back down? Nobody's going to say that to US. So what is threatening Strait of Hormuz going to do? Just annoy people. That's it.
They're extremely hardline while they're also simultaneously making a deal. I mean, do you guys see the grift at this point? Do you see what Iran does to its own population? It's pretty wild. Even like the worst cult leaders in the world are like, yeah, Iran, that's a little bit much for us. You guys need to go to cult leader charm school. But Tehran was throwing that victory parade while CENTCOM was running live fire exercises against their drones that they were using to gaslight their own people with. U.S. Central Command confirmed it downed every single drone launched at commercial shipping, not most of them, but all of them. The international trade corridor still remains open, especially with the Southern Highway. The oil has just started to move, with reports showing that Iran actually just got their first tankers through since the blockade with oil exports. So it's open toll-free.
Hold up there. By the way, I just thought of something. I'm not pausing too much, but when I get pissed off, I say a lot. Isn't Iran's football team, soccer team in USA because of FIFA World Cup? FIFA World Cup is in USA, right? So how does that work? USA is bombing Iran. There's a friction there, but Iran's team is still playing inside USA. What? I'm pretty sure I saw like, oh, Iran versus this in a FIFA World Cup. And I'm like, FIFA World Cup is in US. So are they playing in US now? When India-Pakistan thing happened, during the World Cup times, Cricket World Cup, Pakistan and there's a friction like, we're going to boycott Pakistan. Is Pakistan going to play in World Cup? There was a friction there. How is this just normal? Like, yeah, Iran's going to play in USA. Well, USA bomb things, Iran bomb Strait of Hormuz. It's just normal. What does that do with the other thing, right?
But Iran's going to start making that money again by selling the oil to China. So the oil is moving, but the drones are not making it very far at this point. Let's rewind 72 hours and talk about the framework of the MOU, which is said to be signed on Friday. It's really important to understand what's going on behind the scenes. President Trump declared the Strait of Hormuz open, toll-free, effective immediately. He said, ships of the world, start your engines, let the oil flow. That was the exact quote from Truth Social. And then Prime Minister Sharif from Pakistan confirmed that the deal was done. And then Iran launched drones.
I mean, if Pakistan confirmed it, You don't need to ask anyone. That's like written in stone at that point. I mean, if Pakistan said it, like, don't take that to the bank.
At commercial shipping anyways. This isn't an accident. This is their doctrine. We're seeing their doctrine play out. Remember, the administration right now is trying to negotiate with terrorists, doing the best they can. Terrorists with an actual military and a proxy force. So obviously not an easy problem to solve. But again,
that is true. I mean, you can't really blame Trump or anyone. They probably did everything that they said they did. Talk to people. Did sign a certain impromptu, whatever it's called, impromptu deal with a 2 months buffer. And somebody else in the Iran is like, you know what, screw that, I'm still gonna bomb. I think we forgot there's still fracture inside IRGC itself. Some people are acting on their own, some are not. Who's in control?
This is their doctrine, and Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Garabati went on state television and stated directly that Iranian armed forces threats helped facilitate progress in the negotiations. So do you see what they're doing with their own people? They're trying to show strength. We still have military capability because they're like, hey, population, people, we still have military capability, so don't think of trying to come in and overthrow us because we're really strong and tough. And we might be taking steroids, but at the same time, we're not compensating at all. We're definitely not compensating.
Yeah, Iranian people, IRGC is the one in control against America. IRGC has the upper hand against America. Nobody's that stupid. Nobody even needs the details. Oh, really? You fought USA and somehow you have the upper hand? I don't believe you. Nobody in Iran would believe it. Even somebody who consumed insane amount of propaganda, even that would be like just giving side eye. Really? You fought America? This doesn't work. This is like saying, oh, look at that. I'm a 5-foot guy. I just fought a 50-foot giant and I won. Okay, show me the video. No, don't worry about the video. I won. Yeah, right.
Compensating for something that's small. But isn't that wild? This shows they're basically afraid of their own people. Iran right now is more afraid than ever of their own people because they've been put on notice by the West. They see the writing on the wall that at some point the population could rise up in a more effective way, especially if they were armed from the West, which again, not an easy problem to solve, but all of this is happening. This drone launch just last night, this is all happening because the political leadership, the IRGC, they are very afraid of their own people. So they have to show strength. They have to overcompensate. Pretty much every IRGC guy at this point is driving a truck with monster truck tires. Yeah, might be compensating for a little something there, bud. And then a senior Khamenei advisor warned on state television that the MOU text contained ambiguities that needed clarification, and they accused the Trump administration of trying to keep Tehran's conditions in a vague state. Iran is using every drone it launches to try to fill in those ambiguities with some kinetic punctuation against their own people. So Iran called it a show of strength, CENTCOM shooting down their drones with A-10s potentially, anti-UAS systems. They basically just called it another Tuesday. So my sponsor Cloaked dared me to drop some of my personal info into their site and see how exposed I really am. And what I found was wild. Personal info out in the open, no cover. And
yeah, well, go to original video page link. From there, support this channel. Cloaked.com/Max Afterburner.
Off any plan, so check out Cloaked today with a link in the description. But now let's talk about the machine that likely answered this call and is still in theater right now. So think about this operations area. We know that AH-64 Apaches have been taken down by a Shahed drone. Enter the A-10 going in and targeting these drones, flying at 115 knots just off the water.
Was it confirmed that it was A-10? Because it could have been some jet. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but to me it feels like you use A-10 when you know you're going to use A-10. But you have to emergency-wise, if you want to like respond to something, you probably would use something like F-15, right? And it's not like you expected drone attack after supposed peace deal. So was it confirmed it was A-10? I don't know.
50 to 100 feet off the water, inbound to try to hit those tankers that are just trying to get their cargo through the Strait of Hormuz. At this point, that A-10 is one of the most capable aircraft because of its 30mm Gao
Understatement.
cannon. 3,900 repetitions per minute is what that thing spins at. Just a wild platform with uranium-depleted rounds if needed, but likely in this case, it's using HEI, high explosive incendiary. And yeah, that's that guy right there. Yeah, that's the guy she told you not to worry about. This is the other guy down here, and then that guy up
Too close of a euphemism. Calm down. That's way too close of a euphemism.
there, that's the guy that she told you not to worry about. That's the 30mm bullet that is launching towards these Shahed drones. And there's
You should always worry about something that's kind of a scale difference. Bullet is what I'm talking about.
rumors now that the A-10 could carry the APKWS rockets on its underwing pylons over the Persian Gulf right now. That's an advanced precision kill weapon system that straps a semi-active laser guidance kit around the midsection of a standard 2.75-inch Hydra rocket. A $2,000 dumb rocket became a $28,000 precision-guided munition with a 10-centimeter CEP, circular error probability. 10 centimeter. That's how close this thing can hit. I mean, that's just wild to think about. But yeah, $28,000 to make it that laser seeker, but much better.
This is 10 centimeter. Yep, this is 10 centimeter, I think. Yeah, this is 10 centimeter, definitely. So this is the precision.
Than $1 million AMRAAM, which is what was being fired at these drones. So the A-10 rolls in, designates the target with its laser pod, fires one of these off, walks the spot right to where the drone is, fires one of these off, and then itself, or with a wingman, lasers that rocket right onto the Shahed drone, and it basically becomes a falling cheese grater at that point. But not to mention the Gao-8 Avenger. Well, actually, we did just mention it a second ago, but the 30mm rotary cannon, that's literally the reason the airframe was built. It's also in play at close range. 30mm cannon, high explosive incendiary against a sheet metal drone. Yeah, you do the math on that one. But then there's other advanced systems as well. We know directed energy, but check this out. I just came across it yesterday. It's Northrop Grumman's M230LF. The M230LF is a chain gun. It's got the same 30mm cannon that lives under the Apache's nose, and it's mounted as a standalone deck weapon. So it engages.
I got excited there for a second. It has the same 30mm camera. Oh, it's like A-10? Oh, no, the other one, okay.
Low, slow, small threats to 4,000 meters away at 200 rounds per minute. No missile expenditure, no cost per shot problem like an AMRAAM or an AIM-9X. Just a gun solution against a drone that runs approximately $100 or so per engagement. That math can scale beautifully. I think Alex Hormozy would be proud of us at this point. Along with the A-10 and advanced programs like the M230, think about Anduril's Anvil Interceptor. That's the future arriving ahead of schedule. A small, high-speed autonomous drone physically intercepts the threat drone before it reaches its target. No explosive, no warhead, just pure kinetic impact. Think about like a THAAD missile, that same doctrine. No warhead, just exact precision of hitting the other ballistic missile. That's kind of what's happening with this new technology by Anduril. Anduril's Lattice AI is a battle management system that tracks, classifies, and queues intercepts faster than any human in the loop actually can.
I did wonder why would THAAD not use an explosive? And then I thought about it. THAAD is supposed to intercept things very high up, right? Ballistic missiles. Now, ballistic missiles probably can have a nuclear warhead. You don't want to give nuclear warhead a detonation. I mean, a fission bomb, like your basic bomb, your fission bomb, right? Atom bomb. Your fission bomb, the small one that you throw at Japan. Fission bomb doesn't have the issue. If you explode there, like it's gonna be fine. Thermonuclear bombs or a hydrogen bomb, which nowadays a lot of countries have in small tactical cases. So detonation isn't as big as Castle Bravo or Tsar Bomba, but it's big enough with a small package. It's a thermonuclear bomb. That does need heat. So the explosion of THAAD interceptor could be just enough to trigger it, or has a chance of triggering it. Probably not, because you need much bigger explosion and heat, but it could trigger it. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's why they thought, let's not put explosive there. Let's just create a destructive interceptor, so it just disintegrates the ICBM without, igniting it. We don't want a multiple MIRV style thermonuclear bomb getting detonated from the sky, just trying to intercept it. Maybe that's the case.
The AH-64 Apache adds the Stinger missile, its own 230 cannon, and you team that up with the A-10, you team that up with the M230, with Anduril's advanced UAS equipment, and yeah, you really have something that's sitting there making General Salami say, yeah, I think I chose the wrong charcuterie party. And then not even to mention the Army's DEM SHORAD laser system, adaptable to vehicles, ships, fixed platforms. Can we get this thing on an aircraft at some point? F-47 loaded down with a directed energy weapon, potentially.
It will,
not
probably.
confirmed yet. But this has been operating in the CENTCOM area of responsibility.
I don't think F-47 will have that. I think F-47's drones will have that. One of the drones will be energy targeting drones that F-47 probably will control.
The SHORAD has. It neutralizes drones at the speed of light. Cost per engagement? Yeah, basically the cost of flipping a light switch, the cost of moving your finger on the trigger like that. So that directed energy might be one of the best weapons ever. Hey, maybe we should just load one of these directed energy weapons on the A-10. I'm sure the A-10 could handle it. It's basically the pickup truck of fighter jets. But Iran is flooding the zone with expendables, and America is answering at every altitude, every range band, and every cost tier simultaneously. Not just one system involved here, but a chain with no gap that the adversary can get through. Iran sent their Mosquito fleet of drones. America sent basically the electric bug zapper of fighter jets, the A-10 Warthog. So remember, the supply chain for the Shahed drones in Iran, when we speak about knowing our enemy, it runs through Iranian domestic manufacturing facilities that have been degraded, but not fully degraded. And Iran's going to reconstitute all their factories in their country right now, basically put them under war powers to get all of those drones replaced and the ballistic missiles replaced as well. So basically they're going full and all in on getting those Shahed drones and getting their stockpiles back to close to where they were before the conflict began. And then Iran's most inflammatory rhetoric, it needs to be read for what it actually is. Remember, Iran Foreign Minister Agharachi told a room full of diplomats in Tehran that the MOU confirms Iran and Hezbollah as a single party to the agreement. So they're trying to say that Iran and Hezbollah are together, a legal and diplomatic framing that Washington doesn't accept. And Agharachi stated without the withdrawal of Israeli forces.
Another reason I think the deal is going to fall apart. This level of miscommunication doesn't work. When the time comes, no side is going to accept. If US can't promise Hezbollah off the limit because it's in Israel's hand and Israel might not listen to US, if Iran says like Hezbollah and Iran is the same thing, it's our proxy, I mean, we can't afford to let them go. I mean, even if they want to, they can't, because like Hezbollah might cause problems for Iran itself if they abandon it. There's a real friction there. Things like this might be just enough, like, yeah, there is no deal, and everybody walks away. So this might just be a 2-month buffer
from the territories they occupied during this war. The war cannot be considered fully concluded. He declared that any continued Israeli military action in Lebanon will be regarded as a violation of the memo of understanding. So again, that's what they're using. That's what they're hanging on. They're basically like, you can't target our proxy forces. We believe we have the ability to keep our proxy forces right there next to Israel. But here's one of the honesty checks, and that is the Netanyahu wild card and the 48-hour window. So Iran's military, and we can really just take what these guys say with a grain of salt, likely, but they're saying that Israel violated the ceasefire 84 times since the MOU was signed on Sunday. Agharachi declared every Israeli strike in Lebanon a violation of the agreement and framed the US as legally responsible for Israeli actions. Trump basically has broken publicly with Netanyahu somewhat over the last few days. He said that Netanyahu needs to be more responsible, and he said, I'm not happy. Language that would have been geopolitical.
This is the perfect analogy because of the hand thing. Yeah, Trump is all right.
Politically inconceivable 6 months ago, but Israel's National Security Minister Ben Gvir responded by stating that Trump's deal doesn't bind Israel. So as you can see, a bit of a quagmire as far as what happens with Israel in the mix, Iran in the deal with the US, and obviously the US is making that deal with Iran only, but Iran is trying to tie in a whole bunch of different things at the end. I don't think we're really surprised by that. You made it to the 40 chess strategic analysis.
Another thing that will make the whole thing fall apart. USA can't guarantee Israel. Israel probably not going to be part of it. Without Israel being part of it, there is no deal. So, again, I'll believe it when I see it because of this.
Analysis section, my friends. So Iran's not unhappy with the deal. They know what they signed, and it includes the ability, we don't know where the money will come from, but basically $300 billion will somehow make it into Iran, whether that's sanctions relief, whether that's from frozen assets, or just some of the royalties they're going to make here over the next few months as they crank their oil industry back up. So the drone launch could be a couple different things. It could be...
Look, here's what I'm going to say. Trump said that Obama was an a-hole because he gave a bunch of money to Iran. Again, like, we don't know the deal, but if this is the case, like, they're going to give somehow, some way, 300 billion, how is that different? So let's hope there is more details to this than just like, like releasing funds like that. And let's hope they properly secure a deal before they do that. Because right now, deal feels very shaky because of Israel, because of Lebanon. Yeah.
Rogue IRGC commanders, but I actually think it's IRGC commanders that are acting with authorization of Tehran, because Iran's military doctrine is to listen to the circle of the supreme leader, obviously. And they're seeing this entire operation as an ability to show their people that they're still in charge. Because again, there's probably a lot of factions in Iran right now that are like, yeah, our military is the weakest it's ever been. We're at a position where, who knows, a civil war could break out. There could be an uprising, but obviously they would need to be armed. They can't just go lambs to the slaughter like they were before, being mowed down by the IRGC. But again, the IRGC is going to gaslight their people as much as they possibly can, especially during this 60-day window where it looks like the strait will remain open. Money will continue to flow into Tehran. So if I was a betting man, I would say the A-10, the AH-64, these counter-UAS systems, they have some pretty good job security in the Strait of Hormuz right now. But what do you think happens? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we see Iran?
Yeah, there you go, people. Iran launched more drones. Iran is saying Lebanon gets attacked and there is no deal, which, let's be honest, it will have, as soon as they said that, like, timer has started, 24 hours, Israel will attack. I don't see this lasting any longer, man. I'm not gonna lie. Before I thought maybe there's hope. Maybe I don't see deal being signed in a way we think it is, but at least it's 60 days. Now I don't even know if we have 60 days. Will this even last a week? I don't know. Right, well, there you go. If you like my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.